Here we are yet again after many trials and tribulations. Good gravy train. It is. We all canceled several times. Good grief. Well, it's good to be back. I always like going up to it. I'm always like, it's tonight the night, long week and stuff. But once we start recording, I'm like, all right, now this is great. I enjoyed this thoroughly. Let's party hardy.
Let's party hardy. Let's
Party
party
hardy.
hardy. We are back. We
We got
uh
some catching up to do too,
we
don't
got
we?
a lot of catching up to do. It's been a lifetime of change between us, and I just got my microphone working on the video recording. So that whole little intro section, it's
Just
gone.
gone.
It's gone.
Oh, that's awesome.
So this is it.
This is
This is where
second
it
soft
starts.
open.
Second soft open, maybe
Second
third.
softy.
Who knows? Softy, a little soft serve for you, coming
Paul
straight
had his
at you.
first frosty since he was like a little kid just the other week.
You kidding me?
I hand to God. He
Frosty.
didn't tell me how it was, but if I were to ask, he would say good.
Did you see
Or
that?
if he absolutely adored it, it'd be great.
Yeah, he's not very super descriptive when he enjoys something.
He's a man of very few yet deliberate words.
He says what needs to be said.
Yeah, and no more, and definitely no less.
No
That
less.
is it.
Ha.
We went and saw Northman
Yeah.
on opening weekend, and then we went to. Well, that's a story for you. So we went to the machine shed, right?
Oh yeah, that's always a story.
Oh boy! So we go there in the morning, and like we're gonna go. They have the breakfast buffet. And
Oh
the
yeah,
breakfast buffet at Machine Shed, they have eggs Benedict.
30 feet long. It's
Holy
hundreds of
guacamole!
feet.
Hundreds of feet of
Lot of
just
good stuff.
sweet hollandaise goodness.
Mm-hmm.
And but they set us in the annex, and the lady didn't ask us if we wanted the buffet, so we've just assumed that it wasn't happening, so we just ordered meals. Kids hooting and hollering. The manager of the place came by and started like hanging out with this family at their table on the other side of the room. But because the room was so quiet, we could hear every word. And they were like politely laughing with him because he like kept on making these really crummy jokes. And like,
Mm-hmm.
ha, ha, ha. Like the Midwest laugh is in like
I'm trying to be
we
nice.
know, yeah, we're gonna be nice to you because you're here, but we can't wait for you to go. And he started singing.
Like
He, he sang
what song?
whatever. I think there's a little Travis Tritt in there.
What would there be?
Uh, some Garth. There, like basically everything that was on the radio, he was singing along a little Florida Georgia line, and it was. He kept on saying, "This is my favorite song," and then he just started, and he like belting, like so the
Yeah.
whole place could hear how awesome of chops he had being a restaurant manager. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but clearly it wasn't his first dream. He wanted to be a pop country singer.
We all did. Let's
Travis
be
Tritt.
honest. After Garth Brooks came out with his alter ego, what was his name? You remember his name?
Gavin DeGraw. I'm just
No,
kidding.
no,
That
no,
wasn't it.
something.
Chris Gaines is
Chris
Chris Gaines.
Gaines, yeah. Once Chris Gaines
Gavin
came out,
DeGraw. I love that guy.
I bet you do. I know you do.
Hey, he was
He's
the
right
son of a
up your
plumber.
alley.
Okay, sang about it in a song.
He did sing about this
I
song.
don't want to be anyway.
I'm trying to be
Yeah, Chris.
lazy.
Ah,
Yes, yes.
Thank you, everybody. But you were saying when you found out about Chris Gaines, the
I mean,
alternative pop rock alter ego of
of Garth Brooks,
yeah, I was
you
waiting
knew
for
you
you.
could do it all.
It
You
was an
could.
alley oop. That
You,
was an alley oop.
the
All
man
right, bud.
has no end to his talent.
All right, everybody. You have a great night. Click. You have to say click.
I'm gonna
Now.
be honest.
There's no
I
clicking to
don't
be had.
think I've ever heard a Chris Gaines song. I don't think I
You
ever listened to him.
know,
I remember seeing like at the Walmart, they had the poster of Chris Gaines, or like the cardboard cutout of Chris Gaines.
Like the hair down over his face.
The emo
face. We all like that album cover is iconic, but we don't know a single song.
Can't think of a single song. I could sing you like
Just
easily five Garth Brooks songs, but yeah, I got nothing for Chris Gaines.
Did you know that Garth Brooks, he was recently had a concert and it like registered as an earthquake? Really? Like seriously, like just recently, yeah. Like it registered on a Richter scale. It registered as an earthquake.
Have you seen all the stuff with like your mom's house?
Oh yeah. Garth Brooks. Yeah, he's a serial killer. Absolutely.
Good stuff. Those are If you don't listen to your mom's house, you should.
Get on it. Christina P, Tom Segura, holy fuck. The heavy segments are her TikTok curations.
Mm-hmm.
They give me life. Have you ever watched any of their? You probably haven't. Their pay-per-views.
No.
I'm everybody else. You really should support them because they're great and awesome. Aaron, never rent one of their pay-per-views. It's heavy. It's hardcore. Like I had to look away several times and got sick to my stomach once. It's like, oh my god.
Like
now the Two Bears One Cave, their pay-per-views are hilarious. Like they got a dominatrix and shit. That was amazing.
I remember seeing the previews for that. What like what do you mean heavy?
So there's a website that nobody should ever visit called heavy.com, and the producers go, and so they have the heavy segment. So the producers go on heavy.com and find the worst possible videos and play them for Christina and Tom just to get the reactions. And apparently, and the producers, they have to like sit through these and find good ones, quote unquote good ones.
Right.
It's like deviant stuff, like people put poo all over their bodies and sitting in sewer tanks and just like gross, just gross stuff. Yeah, it's really just gross.
Kind of like what was it?
Like Skin Crawl.
E-Bombs World, or what was it?
No, E-Bombs. No, you're thinking E-Fucked.
No, I'm thinking E-Bombs World.
E-Bombs World was really normal.
It had a little mix of everything, though, didn't it?
It's pretty mild. Well, I mean, maybe a lot of years
compared to that,
ago.
Though, it's probably mild.
I'm like one of 4 people that still goes on E-Bombs World on a moderately regular basis. Not gonna lie.
I haven't been there since high school.
If I pull up my suggested, I have E-Bombs World is, it's
up there, top 5.
Like it's like there's E-Bombs World, like it's just like that's always. I don't know. I never got into the what is it, the Chive?
Chive, yeah, that was. I mean, it was all right. I liked Hard Times, but that's
Hard Times.
I like punk music and everything else. So like, yeah, the Chive was just it was all right. It had some funny articles overall. I'd say it was about 50-50. Hard Times is usually pretty spot on. They make fun of everybody, but yeah.
E-Bombs World is nothing but like pictorials of like cringe moments from 2019 and shit like that.
Right.
Yeah. But like it's just great. Like if I don't want to watch TikTok or something and I just want to scroll aimlessly on my phone for 30 minutes, then E-Bombs World really is the only website I know. Well, yeah, because like I'm really like Reddit doesn't scare me, but Reddit it's too big.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there. There's a lot going on there. I just got back on there for something.
I only follow like 4 or 5 channels or groups, whatever they're called on there, and even that's too much for me to handle. So
I think it was for car repair stuff is why I got on there. Like why I got back on recently, looking up like what the issue is. When I start my car up, it does a little grind noise when it starts up cold. It's looking like it's starter, but
yeah, the ring and then it turns.
Yeah. I got that extended warranty right? Though. Yeah, did I tell you? You knew I got a new car, right?
Mm-hmm.
A different car. Sold my nice car. And
then you sold your crummy car too. Or did you leave the crummy car here in Des Moines?
What, the crummy car? The Prius?
Yeah.
Or no? The Prius wasn't the crummy one.
Yeah, the Prius.
You thought the Prius was crummy? It's a nice car. I sold it to my dad. He drives it every day to work now.
Well, I never saw the Prius.
The
I
Prius
didn't know
is
how
good.
good or crummy
I had
it
a
was.
couple crummy cars I used for delivery, but the Prius actually was like I got that fixed up pretty well. Like the only thing it really needed on it was a set of struts on the back, I think. But everything else, like I repaired it to the point where it didn't need like everything that was suggested by Beckley. That sweet ride is a 2009 Prius with, when I sold it, it had 317,000 miles on it, and it still runs like.
Those are great little cars.
That was supposed to be the model. The Gen 2s were supposed to be the model that lasted forever. There was issues with the other ones, like head block or block gasket or something, or engine or muffler fluid or something leak. I don't know. But yeah, this Gen 2 was supposed to be the best Prius, like as far as longevity. And I mean, I bought it for, how much did I buy it for? Like 1,000, I think. And I put maybe another 1,000 into it, and just to get it to where it's running great. I don't know. 40 miles to the gallon. You can't really say no to that. But yeah, that was if you're getting a Prius, if you're looking in these trying times of gasoline wars, look into a Prius. Older ones too. They hold up. Or try Upside, which we are not sponsored by. However,
big fans around these parts.
I use the Upside, and you get cash back every time you fill up your car. It's not a lot, but it's money back that for something you're going to do either way. But yeah, I recommend Upside. Norseman, what'd you think of Norseman?
I loved it. Oh, but that was going to say is back around.
Oh yeah,
like we got done right, and we got done with the Norseman, and I asked Paul's like, "So what you think?" It was good. I said, "No, like really, what you think?" He said, "It was good." Oh, more importantly than that, prior to that, the rest of Old Country Buffet. God, I miss it.
Oh man,
Machine Shed. I get eggs. So Paul and I both get Eggs Benedict, right? It comes like, and I forgot. I haven't been to Machine Shed in at least 4 or 5 years, and like, well, that's a lie. Me and Paul went once. I got a chicken fried steak, and it was good, but I didn't eat it all and whatever. But I got Eggs Benedict there, and so they put 3 eggs on the Eggs Benedict, not just 2. And it's a full slab of ham, not just 2 like rounds per English muffin.
Little skinny rounds.
And then I got the hash brown. Yeah, exactly. Then I got that. So it's a slab of like thick cut bacon, and then I got the home. You got obviously hash brown casserole
and a dozen biscuits. But then dozen English muffins.
Give me one of them cinnamon rolls under there. Sir, can I get cinnamon rolls instead of English muffins on your Eggs Benedict?
This is old country. Not old country, dang it. This is Machine Shed. You can do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want. You're not allowed to if you're hungry. I had a waitress there once tell me that I wasn't allowed to leave hungry, and I almost married her on the spot. But anyway, but then I didn't ask for anything special. I just want the Eggs Benedict, cup of coffee, glass of milk. That's what I ordered. And they proceeded to cover every inch of the entire plate in hollandaise sauce.
Oh yeah.
To the point that it was at risk of overflowing over the plate, because those plates are like half bowls, you know.
Oh yeah.
In my life, I've never left hollandaise sauce left over on the table on a plate. Like, you always keep a little bit of English muffin for sopping.
You can find something to dip it up with.
There was too much, and I'm an impolite company around all these people. I can't like get in and grab it and hold it like a baby. And like,
you can get some of that sweetbread they got there. Take some of that sweetbread, just dip it in there, and it was like.
They don't do that. They don't do that
what?
for lunch.
Oh, okay, no. For lunch. I was gonna say, I thought you meant a period. They stopped doing it.
Funny thing though, the very next weekend, me and Aaron went to Old Country.
Old Country Buffet is thinking about us.
Right, we went to Machine Shed. She agreed. Like, as we were driving by, and like, oh, this is Machine Shed. She's like, we can go if you want. I was like,
Of course I want.
Yeah, it's like she just knows how to get me, right? And so Erin is vegan by nature, but will um eat like she'll eat seafood when it's around if she's like feeling it or something, you know.
Right.
So we go and we're like, oh yeah, I'm sure they got like salmon or something. Because I know they had salmon on the dinner menu, but they don't have it on the lunch menu. But they had shrimp, and so she ordered shrimp, and it was supposed to be like the shrimp thing, vegetable medley, super healthy. She's like, can I get this? And it's supposed to have Asiago cheese on top. She's like, no cheese, just steamed vegetables and the shrimp. Great. It comes, and it's a bowl of clarified butter with 6 shrimp in it, just swimming. Like it's butter soup with shrimp. And she's like, oh. And I got a meatloaf. And I'm like, good luck. And so she eats it. Like she's like trying to pour the butter off the
Mm-hmm.
chicken before the shrimp before she eats it and stuff. And she eats it and she eats the vegetables. So it's fine. Like we leave 10 minutes later. She goes, I don't feel very good. She's like, yeah, I'm sure you don't.
That's
It's
the
like,
same thing with Red Lobster shrimp scampi. About 15 minutes after eating it, you're gonna need a bathroom real quick.
uh huh. Yeah, we came back to the apartment. She was out for the rest of the day. It's like she's like,
Unbelievable.
I can't. She just like fetal position on the couch for the rest of the night. It was pretty rough. I could have ran a marathon after my meatloaf,
Right.
but it's what it is. Each their own.
That's a fact.
Yeah, I got something terrible
Yeah,
to talk
what do you
about.
got? What do you got?
I have something terrible I'm going to talk about.
What do you want? What's this terrible thing you want to talk
It's
about?
it's called the Ancient Ram Inn.
Oh my gosh. You gotta be kidding me. That's what I came here to talk about too.
What?
What?
There's like some sort of Japanese rock out there, the
Yeah,
Killing
that
Stone.
we're gonna hold off on that because I got nothing.
Oh, really?
I
Well,
went
I got a little bit.
I went full force on Ancient Ram in. So
All right. Well,
if you
Did you watch the Ghost Hunt? Did you watch the Ghost Adventures episode?
did I watch
Did
the
you?
Ghost Adventures episode? Yes, I watched it and I hated every minute of it, but I watched it.
That's when his hair was at its ultimate form. Like Zach's hair was wretched. I think it's like season 2 shit is when that was filmed.
Yeah, it was
I went
it
back
was
and watched
early
some
on
of
in
the
the Ghost Hunters,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah, that's when they were still setting up like the exterior cameras and shit and getting locked inside. That old fella's dead now. So Ancient Ram Inn
2017.
is 2017 is when he died. So according to the Haunted Britain website, it's a place where nightmares abound.
Yeah,
So scary.
nightmares abound.
Really unassuming, nice little place in a small town in the UK. I can't remember the name of the town. In Gloucestershire.
Wotton-Under-Edge.
Wotton-Under-Edge in Gloucestershire.
Wotton-Under-Edge. Small
Uh,
village in England, about 40 minutes from Bristol. If any of you are familiar with Bristol, which I know all of us are, because
I'm not. I've heard of it.
that's right. I wore my USA hat because there's a reason we left. All right, don't forget it. No,
We left and they came calling.
they came crawling trying to get some of this.
We kicked them
said,
out.
No thanks. Move it along.
Get out
Get
of
back to your
town.
tea and crumpets. We're gonna have Ritz
Hip
crackers and cheese
Cheerio,
whiz.
these nuts.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Well, you know what freaks me out?
what?
Hold on. Hold on. What really freaks me out about this place, Aaron, is that the building was built in 1145.
It still looks this
Like,
good.
it's like 600 years before we became a country.
1145.
And this is the thing. It's like, bruh. Like the idea that there's been stuff around that long that's still standing. Obviously, it's not the original one, but
Well, it does have the oldest wooden window frame in the country.
Really,
That's what somebody
and it's
said
the
on
most,
the podcast.
and it's the most haunted building.
It's
in the
often
UK.
called the most haunted house in Britain.
Often considered,
Which I don't know if I've heard of any other haunted house in Britain, but I don't think I've ever heard of this haunted house in Britain until we started doing research for it.
I found this from a fella on YouTube. I plug him, but I can't remember his name, nor does it matter. But he does reaction videos and stuff, and he does a one of these videos. Everyone's like a paranormal thing every once in a while, and him and all of his friends went and hung out there, and like no production quality. It was actually quite funny. They just like hung out with all the lights on and giggled. And I was like, this place sounds super freaky. And then like he showed some of the pictures, like the mummified animals and stuff found underneath the gentleman's kitchen and things, which we'll get to,
Oh, we'll get
as
there.
well as the witches and the sacrifices.
Witches, sacrifice, Moors.
But the place was yeah, it was built in 1145. It was built, if I'm correct, it was built to house priests from across that were at the church from across the street.
St. Mary's Church nearby.
Yeah,
I'm not sure
I think
what it
that's across
was
the
for.
street.
I think it was. It might have been built for that in the end, but in the end,
But then it became an inn.
well, no, I'm just saying, like originally, like that's where the people that were building it, like slaves and masons, and other workers,
Stayed. That's right. Yep,
stayed.
they stayed there.
Yeah, while they were building St. Mary's Church.
That's right. And
Um,
then it became a priest's quarters.
mhm,
But then at some point during all this nonsense, they like diverted the water that and it like laid on a lay like the building lays on two ley lines. They
mhm.
diverted the water towards the church, and that's when all the paranormal activity started to really ramp up. You could say
You could say that.
little little rampy ramp.
It's got multiple former lives to tell, if you will. The site
Mm-hmm.
was the home to a multi millennia pagan burial ground that lies
Okay.
on the ley lines, which trace directly back to the ancient and mysterious site of Stonehenge.
Spooky.
So,
By the way, Stonehenge, they found a bunch of ditches or like big things near Stonehenge. By the way, something to look up in your own time. I just discovered that recently.
and just to clarify, because I've heard it 100 times, but I wasn't exactly sure what it was. Ley lines are straight alignments drawn between various historic structures and prominent landmarks. So, like, they connect to these lines that intercross
They
everything.
make like ancient geography, that sort of thing. Yeah. Like
Mm-hmm.
not ancient geometry, not ancient.
Yeah,
Little
yeah,
geography and
yeah. A little
geometry.
geography, little geometry, little stuff like that. A little mixture of the two.
Swish, swash. That's the sounds they make.
So yeah, that's it's got some history. It's got some real history there.
Yeah, it's got a lot. So apparently, like the scariest room in the whole place is called the Bishop's Room. Apparently, like the door there once was lifted off of its hinges and like flung across the room.
We've all been
There's
there. Long night
right.
of
There's a
drinking.
ghost that materializes near a dressing table and then like walks across to the other wall. There are two monks that you're supposed to see in a corner. A terrified man screaming, a terrified man screaming. Apparently, this guy was supposedly murdered in this room by somebody putting his head in a fire, which, ooh, that's gotta suck.
According
Um,
to some, there are 20 individual entities that reside in the inn.
and
That's a
then
lot
how
of
many of those are in the
entities.
bishop's room? Do you know how many are in the
What
bishop's
was
room?
it? I did write down
It's supposed to be
nine.
like a dozen or
Nine
something.
are occupying the bishop's room.
Yeah.
There's also the witch's
Which,
room, which there was a woman who was executed as a witch. She lived at the Ram before she was burned at the stake.
they like
In the
came and
late
hunted her
16th century,
down.
yeah, she hid out there, and she was burned
Across from the
at the
church.
stake.
Ironic.
Yeah, on the property. Actually, she was burned on stage. She's known for scratching or burning visitors, and it's called the Witch's Room. It's a place where most of the interactions happen, and they've had recordings, like audio recordings, of her taunting those that are trying to interact and investigate. There's usually laughing that's recorded. On Ghost Adventures, she was recorded saying, "I'm special," in a distinct Southern English accent. So one thing I thought would be interesting, since we haven't really done a lot of ghost stuff, maybe just go. So where my knowledge of ghosts comes from is a game that was very popular not that long ago called Phasmophobia, which is a game I will never play again. But the game actually does use a lot of instruments that are actually used in
like an EMF reader and
like
stuff.
an EMF meter. And I was watching a bunch of like people that on YouTube, people had gone in there and were trying to see things. And there was some things like I'd never seen before, which is like there's an SLS, which stands for Structured Light 3D Scanner, or
It's the
Kinect
same thing
camera.
that is the motion, the motion control camera for the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One.
It's a device that uses a pattern of infrared dots to detect objects in complete darkness. It is prone to spurious results when used as a non-stationary device. But like I watched the video and it's just like there's one where they're looking in a corner and it's the obvious outline of a child like standing there. Like it's just
because it
looks
does
like
a
connect the
stick figure.
dots. Yeah, it does like connect the dots basically is what it looks like.
Like a stick figure.
And so yeah, there's this small child hanging out in the corner. EMF meter, which you said, that's to detect possibly unexplained fluctuations in electromagnetic fields. One thing I saw a lot of that I hadn't seen before was like here it says tablet. I'm on Wikipedia with the list of methods and equipment, but like a tablet PC or a ghost box. A ghost box was a thing, or spirit
Ghost
box.
or Spirit Box,
yeah.
also a great metalcore band, by the way. Rule of Nine is a phenomenal song.
I know you.
Spirit
love
boxes
Spirit
are.
box.
I can explain spirit boxes. Spirit boxes work by. You know what? The spirit box works by transmitting radio waves very very frequently, and then supposedly the ghost can like grab words that are used and like spit them out and say like yes, no, maybe so, that sort of thing. But it changes channels very 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 quickly, like that fast, and they can answer, and you can hear what they're saying through the spirit box.
Like you catch up there. They're speaking. Like you'll ask a question and wait for a response from the spirit box. They've got listed here a tablet PC to record data, audio, video, and even environmental fluctuations such as electromagnetic fields. Somebody, I don't know what it was called. There was something. It seemed like they were using Siri, but they would ask a question, and then they would get a response in like a robotic voice. And sometimes it actually lined up with what was people had talked about in there and stuff.
Obviously, digital recording devices.
Right. There's. I wish I could remember what it was called. It was just because it's either an app or it's a program.
It's a program.
Okay. Ouija board. I mean, that's one of the oldest.
Ouija board. FLIR. FLIR sensors. The where they checks for like heat and all that fun stuff too.
Thermographic cameras, which are, yeah, it's just like some of the stuff. It's, I don't know. What do you yeah, we'll get to that. All right. So let's see. There was one of the other things that were seen, one of the other entities was a Roman centurion who was seen by a plumber while working on the site. So, I mean, that's kind of cool. The high priestess.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cool. That's a really cool one.
This is they wake up, you're in bed, you wake up, you hear chanting, and you look at the foot of your bed, and there's a woman in a white religious robes with her arms raised, chanting in some unknown language. That
which
is
kind of ties really closely into the human sacrifices and stuff. So
right.
in the men's kitchen, which is the first room you walk when you walk into the inn, it's called the men's kitchen. I don't know why. But the man that owned this place, I don't know how he purchased the home or not, but his name was John Humphreys. He passed away in 2017. He pretty much dedicated his life to the preservation of this building for some strange, peculiar reason. Nobody can really figure
I
out
have a
why.
general idea why.
Wife, three kids. Well, I think it starts with an S and ends with a bus, but we'll get to that. The Yeah, it was just a weird little chap. If you go on YouTube, you can
Very
see
eccentric,
him
fun,
through.
fun. I think he would be fun, somebody that would be fun to have some drinks with.
100%.
Get to
I
hear some stories, have
absolutely.
some laughs.
Yeah, yeah, I would say so. Like I remember, like after Ghost Adventures, as they're getting to lock it, was just getting ready to lock him in. He walks into the house. He's like, "No, bro, you're locking us in. We're not locking you." And he goes, "Oh yeah," and like walks out. And he's like, and like Zach goes, "So like there's like incubus, right, and succubus." And like, "Yeah, there's an incubus." And he's like, the grandson's like, "Yeah, I saw her once." And it's like, "How about you? Have you ever seen her, John?" And he's like, "Yeah, she's visited me like twice over the last 6 weeks." And he like his big old smile on his face. Like, you sick fuck. I was like, "You dirty, dirty dog."
And he was visited the first night he took over the inn.
Yeah.
Like they didn't wait nothing. They're like, it's good. We're gonna get it on now.
Mhm.
And yeah, first night of owning it, that kind of happened. And at
If
that
anybody
point,
doesn't
still had a
know,
wife and
incubus is
kids.
a
And
ghost that has sex with you.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and a wife and three kids
But
at the time. So
incubus is a male
little
ghost,
weird, Johnny
and
boy.
succubus is a feminine ghost that does thing, which they say they can. Some people, it's not the general belief, but some people believe that a it could be one and the same. Like it could be at one point a succubus and one point an incubus, but majority of people don't believe that, and they usually, which makes it extra odd, is because when you have two entities of that same, uh, you
Caliber.
know, like a caliber line of work, they usually don't hang out in the same area. So to have one of each
It's
in,
competing.
yeah, well, I mean, you got 20 known entities in one building. It's not a huge building by any means, and you've got all these things, but we haven't gotten to why there were silver daggers found.
Broken silver
Broken
daggers.
silver daggers, which
Which
is
seems like that should just be a song. There's a Coulter Wall's got the song about 13 silver dollars. 13 broken daggers in my mind. Like, come on. I bought that album. Amazing.
I bet you
You know,
did.
it's such a vibe. Hanging out, reading a book, little incense, playing that on the old record player with your girlfriend. That is a great song to
That's a
sit there and
vibe.
relax. Anyway,
That passes the
sorry.
vibe check.
Vibe check. Yep, it passes the vibe check.
These daggers were found in the same area as the corpses of two children.
Two.
Two
Yeah.
children. So, and as someone pointed out in one of the other podcasts I listened to, normally,
Which John excavated these from underneath the property.
yeah, John was there doing work,
Oh,
excavated.
John.
He also excavated the
What
mummy
else John
cat,
do?
but he yeah, he found the children's corpses and the broken silver daggers, which, as someone said, you don't make daggers out of silver for functional use. It is for maybe something for a special occasion or for
Well, a
decorative
single
purposes.
functional use,
Yeah, a single
like a
functional
one
use,
time,
like a one-time
it's a
child
one
child
use,
sacrifice, and then you break the daggers.
and they break them so they don't use them again. Yeah.
There are multiple children entities in the inn, um, which they've said they've started leaving out toys, which makes them a little more calm and nicer, so they have something to play with.
Still freaks me out, like the Velisca murder house when you go upstairs in the upstairs bedroom and they have like dolls and stuff hanging out there. It's just
Kid's gotta have something to play with. He's gonna be there a while.
something alright.
Trying to think. If there was anything else? Any
So
other?
I would like to clarify. So there's a cellar, and you can't get down into the cellar. It's been blocked off now, but in this like there's like this winding wooden staircase that goes down, and down there in the dirt, John dug and dug and dug and dug and found some really wild shit. There's I guess you can find like where he dug the bodies up. Like I don't know if it's open. Like Daily Mail's got some photos of it and stuff. But then what's super creepy on top of that is the mummified animals that he found down there too, like in the walls and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Which
Um,
there's a cat that
a good sized cat too.
mm-hmm. And what was it?
Ram's head.
One of the people that had gone there um, to visit it said they had talked to John and he had pulled out he'd taken him to the room and they asked what a spot on the bed was and they said that was the wee of the cat.
No
There's
shot.
cat piss on.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, it's cat piss. Is it from the dead one? Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
that's
All
the
right, John.
one. You got that right, partner.
Whatever you say, John.
So,
I mean, in John's defense, he also like stored like sheets in boxes of stuff down. Like he lived in this home. So like in the bay, like if you look up pictures of the ancient Ram Inn and you look into the pictures of the cellar and stuff, it's like it's such a weird mix because it's so because the guy just died in 2017. Like he was alive for a while. Like very recently
mhm,
is when he passed. So like you
2017.
go down there and you see these pictures, you're like, oh, this creepy old place, and then like boxes and like an old shower curtain, and just like this, it's so weird, man.
He was
I don't know.
eccentric. He was
I,
he was an interesting dude. You just look at the
so let's.
pictures.
I
He
want to
looks
talk
like a
about
fun guy.
John.
Yeah, let's talk about John.
He does, but like, what do you think possesses him to put that much effort and like abandon his family, his livelihood, his life savings into keeping this place up and going
You know, I
here?
mean,
Was it the succubus?
he's getting
That's the real
getting
question here.
regular visits, hanging out, like doing his thing, keep the place running.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. No, I he just seems like I said, he seems like an eccentric person that he really enjoys this. He enjoys the the history behind the place he's living in. And it's just I think he enjoys showing it off too. Like having people come and see it and just being like, this is if you want to experience something out of this world, come see the place I live.
Like literally.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it's just I think he just had a real he loved the inn and wanted to keep it running and keep it up for other people to get to experience it. Or maybe it was just
And I know
possessed by demons. Who knows? And they
maybe
were
he was
telling him to
possessed
keep it running.
by the demons. I mean, he did a really good job of keeping it looking so legit too. Like I'm poking fun at the boxes and shower curtains in the basement, but like I mean, the man still lived there, so you got to give him a damn break. But he like there's like no like 65-inch TV up above the mantle or anything like that. Like he just like he took really good care of the place.
Yeah, that's. I mean, like you look at it, it's like that looks like somewhere you could live today. I mean, there is no
Mm-hmm.
running water though.
Mm-hmm.
Outside of that, I mean, it's totally livable. I mean, it's livable either
Sounds
way.
good.
I mean, you can. There's outhouses. You can figure it out. I'm sure there's a well somewhere, or you can get a something set up. But no, that's
So did Zach Bagans and crew did they take piss bottles in with them?
I don't remember. Did they?
I don't know. That's the question. Maybe it's all just a big hoax. And they don't get locked in because what kind of insurance company is going to pay for that?
Well, I mean, we it's Zach Bagans, you know. I mean, like, we know how I feel about Zach Bagans. I know you're a fan of his work, but
I'm a
I don't
fan at
I
a
don't believe
distance.
most of the things he does. But
I'm a fan at a distance.
at
Let's
a
be very, very
distance.
clear about that. I'm a
That's not what the
fan.
shrine says.
Look, I don't look. So I'm not like, all right, I'm just gonna do it. There's
I'm just good.
in, in my research, there is a podcast out there called the Baggins Bros, and it's a couple of dudes. Shout them out. They seem cool. I mean, they got more episodes than we do, and probably a larger following. And guarantee they have a larger following. It's a Ghost
How
Adventures
dare
podcast.
you?
We got 1,000. They probably have 20,000. Damn it. They got like, I don't know, man. It's a podcast about the show. I just like having a podcast
Is it
about a
worth
show. It's
listening?
cool. I don't know. You think I wouldn't listen to it?
Oh, I figured you listened to it. You brought it up.
I got no time.
Got
But
no
I
time
just
for
like
that.
it's like if you're gonna do it over a reality show, okay. But like of all reality shows to do, like this is our Survivor podcast. Okay, I get it. Big Brother, sure, maybe. But I mean, but now that I'm saying this, I'm coming up with arguments on why it would be cool. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just a piece of crap. And just
I mean,
I didn't think of it first.
for all you know, they're just like pointed out all the fallacies in the show, and that's we're the Baggins Bros, and we're
With a
taking
name
it
like
down.
when you have Zach, when you're the Baggins
When
Bros,
you
so
got
you're Zach,
Baggins' name in your
hey, we're bros with Zachy Boy here. You know
bro side.
that dog ain't gonna hunt. All right, bud.
um,
I
what one?
don't know if I can abide by it.
Speaking of good podcasts, I did get a lot of information
Yeah.
from Graveyard Tales, which is a couple of Southern boys that go through and talk about haunted houses and stuff.
That's a cool name.
Yeah.
I like that name for a podcast. That's
Graveyard
a cool podcast.
Tales. Welcome to the
Legit,
graveyard.
like Graveyard Tales.
Mm-hmm. And they did a really good in-depth podcast.
I dig it.
And they're definitely full-on Southern boys just having a good time talking about ghosts and whatnot. So I was all for it.
Just a couple of good old boys.
Out of all the podcasts to listen to, that one is probably most informative and actually well done.
Nice.
But no, I don't. It's what do you think? You think it's haunted? You think there's
no? I think no. I mean, maybe I guess. Do I believe in ghosts? I don't know. Me and my relationship are ghosts. I don't know. I don't know if I believe in ghosts or not. I would like to believe in ghosts.
Why would you like to believe in ghosts?
Because it's fun. It's just fun to believe in things. I don't know. I don't have a good answer to that. So like my upbringing, Aaron and I's upbringing, being brought up, evangelical Christian, Assemblies of God Christian, Open Bible Christian. We're taught things very, very differently when it comes to the supernatural.
To the fourth dimension.
Yeah, like I saw my first exorcism at 11 and have seen at least a dozen since. So like it's I don't know. My relationship with that sort of thing is based a lot on skepticism and belief. Like I was brought up to believe that ghosts were familiar spirits and were just demons, like the demons taking the form of somebody to gain your trust so they could bother you and help steal your soul. So I don't. Yeah, that's a great bedtime story.
Right? We grew up with some. It's just You want to know where conspiracy theories come from?
Quick.
you read the Book of Revelation. You watch the Thief in the Night series when you're 10 years old, thinking you're gonna get taken, or everybody's gonna get taken except for you. And you have to learn how to fend off the. There's a lot of I won't say trauma, but there is some definitely like some emotional and mental things that happen being raised like that, like as far as how you grow into an adult. I don't know. It's I mean, same with, like you said, as far as ghosts, I was always told it wasn't, there's no ghosts, but there are demons. And it is something that can come and visit you and influence you, but have no power over you. So, I don't know. If there's one thing I always go back to, it's what my friend Stu told me. He was 6'9", big man, and he said, don't ever be afraid of anything. If you're going to have to fight, you're going to have to fight. I go with the motto, I'm never afraid, which I'm not. I try not to be. I don't know. Not that there, like in certain situations, there may be fear involved. If there were an actual ghost that appeared to me that seemed like it was there to harm me, I would probably be afraid. But overall, no, I try to live without fear.
Yeah. I don't know. This shit's complicated.
It is complicated, isn't it?
It is complicated. But like we also grew up like around those like remember that like you go to church and there'd be like those like 800 novellas talking about everything from when the end times were going to occur to how best to raise a god, like raise a garden in God's image, like shit, like, and then like you get bored and so you start reading that stuff and like nobody's fact checking any of this shit, but we're letting it in and putting it on the counter.
Yeah.
Yeah, something else. But like Aaron said, like when we were kids reading like Revelation and shit, we just have a like we don't ghosts or demons. Oh, okay.
And now I'm at the point where I think, I don't know. I think ghosts can be ghosts. I think ghosts could be but then we get into our ghost part of the simulation theory, where it's just repeats of an old, you're walking through somebody else's lifeline or timeline, and you've got these unedited things that forgot to get taken out at some point, and walking through walls because the wall wasn't there originally. Well, there you have it. That's the ram in. I enjoyed learning about it. I enjoyed listening to other people talk about it. And I hope you enjoyed us talking about it to you. Because now you are fully aware of the most haunted building in all of England.
That would have been a great place to stop the podcast. We're going to keep going.
It would have been great, but we're going to ruin it and keep going.
So no more questions. What are you watching? What are you reading?
I'm watching. We're catching up on the newest season of Better Call Saul, which next season, after this one, is the final season, I believe.
How many seasons are there? 6 or 7?
I think there's probably going to be 6 or 7. I don't know which one we're on right now. For the first 4 or 5 are on Netflix, but we're watching it through AMC right now for this because that's how much we enjoy the show. Did you ever watch it?
I watched the half of the first season. I have it on my Netflix, just haven't gone back to it yet. Yeah, I plan to.
We went through.
I have AMC Plus, so I'll continue.
Yeah, you gotta. We'd watched through Breaking Bad. She'd never seen it before. I watched it again. That's still, in my opinion, one of the greatest shows that ever got put on TV. It is just, it's solid all the way through, I think. But
I really want to watch it again, but I can't stand the wife. I hate her so much that it's stopping me from watching it again. That actress is so good. She's so good at playing that role that I believe it too much. It's like Joffrey. I can't sit through her again.
I get it.
She's
quite the lady.
Are you doing any reading at all?
Any reading? Am I reading?
Graphic novels?
No.
Websites?
I don't think websites. Are you on the interwebs? Honestly, the last couple of weeks I've been, for the most part, if I'm online, I'm trying to get all my medical stuff set up and in rotation, so I'm in the loop of getting everything. That's the majority of my online time outside of researching for this. games. It's been a while since I had the Switch. I've beaten Mario Odyssey, and I've gotten quite far in Luigi's Mansion. And then recently just picked up Skyrim. Like
Nice.
this week, picked up Skyrim. So, and we are going on vacation to Denver in 2 weeks. And there's going to be a lot of downtime, so I figured that would be a good thing to have Skyrim, so I can rebuild. We're going to take the Switch with us, take an Amazon Fire Stick, just have kind of like a relaxed week out there. Yeah, and
Good idea.
game. I mean, I feel like gaming with friends has kind of dropped off. Honestly, part
I
of
would say
it's
more than a little bit. We
a
don't.
lot
None
of
of us game. We don't
it.
game together at all. Yeah, we had.
But I work. I start work at 8:30, 4 nights a week, and that is 10:30 your guys' time. So
Okay.
like I'm getting ready at the time everybody's trying to get on a game and stuff. So I mean
And
it's
then
it's
if
life.
I only play games on the weekends.
And
Yeah, it
you're
is what it is. I don't I miss it, but I also like whatever. I don't game during the week anymore. I only game Friday, Saturday, and Sundays. If I game
right.
Friday nights, Saturday and Sunday during the day. Well, that's kind of a lie. I'll game during the week sometimes, but more often than not, we'll go downstairs, we'll hang out. I'm in the bedroom by 8 p.m. Watch TV on my laptop until 11, and then I'm asleep. So like that's my decompress. Like so we before you know 5 to 11 was TV time. Now 5 to 11 for me is hanging with my girlfriend, do some reading, maybe watch a little TV on my own, but I
Yeah,
spend that time reading and hanging out with her. So
that's yeah. I mean like most nights we'll be hanging out watching something. Like I mean it's I don't know. We have gotten in the groove at work where like I now have time to play my Switch. Like
that's good.
there's some dead time between like 3 a.m. and like 6 a.m. Just most of the people are asleep, not much traffic on the streets coming up to the gate or anything. So it's just kind of like we just let that ride. But yeah, Mario Kart, nothing too that I get too sucked into. Like Super Mario Odyssey, I did like that game a lot, and I got really sucked into it, and I beat it relatively quick. Uh, I like Luigi's Mansion, but it's getting a little repetitive. But I mean, I love the graphics, the music. That's the thing. Like we were texting back and forth. It's a lot of it. I think is nostalgia, and just it's gaming without stress. It's relaxed gaming.
It's weird, isn't it? Not playing a game that stretches you out.
Right.
Who would have
So
thunk it?
yeah. How about
Yeah,
you?
I've been playing a lot. I tried Shadow of Mordor or Shadow of War, the Mordor sequel. Hated it. Uninstalled it immediately. House Flipper. Play a lot of. I play a lot of simulation games. House Flipper is incredible. You clean houses and you sell them. What else? What else have I been
I
playing?
get it. I mean, it's your thing. You like it, and I'm glad you like it.
It's
I just
it.
but I did do Mud Runner for like a couple weeks where I was just driving a truck through the mud. So, and
It's
Ryan's like,
still
"What is your thing?"
incredible. And then you got Snow Runner, the
Snow
ultimate
Runner,
sequel to that.
yeah.
Incredible. Um,
No,
So I did New World. I did about $700 in a New World before Amazon Games gave up the game, and I uninstalled it. Then I moved to Lost Ark, which is another MMORPG. I put about $500 into that, and just gave that up within about a month now.
uh-huh.
So I got into strategy games, Crusader Kings, stuff like that, Total Warhammer, that sort of thing. Some first-person shooters. I re-downloaded 2042 that I play sometimes, very rarely. World War III is like what 2042 should have been, so I play some of that. But my games primarily are, yeah, like Chivalry 2, which is a that's like a sword and shield first-person kind of game. Guardians of the Galaxy, Battlefront 2, like I said, Total Warhammer. Very, very little. Uh, what's it called?
First person shooter.
Tropico 6, Frostpunk. Just no. Wasteland 3, Stellaris. I'm going through the games that I'm playing right now. 7 Days to Die, like a lot of strategy, a lot of survival. Stardew Valley. I played a little bit more of that. Galactic Civilizations was one. I have the Xbox Game Pass, so I've just been downloading a shit ton of games. I would say my favorite game that I've been playing most recently, other than Skyrim, would be two games. It would be House Flipper. It would be in Crusader Kings, and then most recently, I downloaded a game called Ranch Sim. Crusader Kings 3 is a strategy game.
Is that the one that was Aaron? No, that's not the one Aaron was playing, right?
No,
What
no.
was
Crusader King. She was playing Jump King.
Jump King? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's a game if you want to rage.
It's Crusader King. Is that the like? It looks like 8-bit, and it's
no. That's Jump King. Crusader Kings 3 looks out like Risk, where it's like it's the world broken down into kingdoms, follows a moderately historical timeline. You pick where you want to go, where you want to start, and it's like all done through intrigue and relationship building with other nations.
okay.
And then there's a little bit of war in between and stuff. So, but it's more like, hey, your wife just had a baby. Name it. All right, now it's grown up. Do you want to get an award? And then you get an award. It's like, all right, your kid's old enough to get married, and you betroth it to the emperor. So then, like, your station in life. The whole Crusader Kings, the whole idea behind it is to have your family's name, your house, live as long as humanly possible throughout history. That's how you play the game.
House Balloon King.
Yeah, House Balloon King as long as you can. But then I'm gonna go. So I have Skyrim, and then between Skyrim, I'm gonna go through the entire Fallout series again. I started Fallout 2 when I was a little kid. Fell in love with it. Favorite game of all time for years and years and years. And I'm gonna go start through Fallout and then Fallout 2 and stuff and do that.
That's gonna be a time consumer.
Oh, I'm ready for it. Reading. I've been doing a lot of reading. I just finished Red Rising, which is a kind of a different play on the Hunger Games. Really good book. It's like a caste society. It's very sci-fi. I'm finishing the first Law trilogy by Joe Abercrombie, so I'm on Last Argument of the King, so the third book of that. Like 80% through. I read that every night before I go to bed. It's a high fantasy, blood, guts, and gore. Really solid book. And then I started and then put down. So Red Rising is the first book. Then I picked up The Golden Sun, which is the second book in the series. Started reading that, and then when I don't read that, I'm reading something called Six of Crows, which is a colonial era ish, steampunky. At least that's the feel of it so far. A heist book. So
Steampunk heist.
Yeah, Aaron's dad was gracious enough to build us two 6 foot by 4 foot bookshelves, and so she put all of her books up, and then I got inspired. So I just spent $100 on books just last weekend just to buy more, and I probably buy $400 worth of books a month right now.
You ever go to Half Price Books?
It includes Half Price Books.
Okay, I was gonna say that's.
Yeah.
I mean, that place is phenomenal.
We just went to the problem with Half Price Books is they don't have a lot of the new releases that I want. Gotcha. But they do have some of the older stuff, like all the old classic fantasy books are there. Like I found my favorite author Melanie Ron at Half Price Books when I used to work at Sears. But yeah, I spent $60 at Half Price Books, which you've been there. You know what it takes.
A decent amount of books.
Yeah, it is. We bought three new high fantasy series there, or that we new to us. That Aaron's going through. Aaron's got a goal to read 120 books this year, and then I got a goal to get through 40. So, and then I'll jump mine up 20 next year and stuff. But I turn into because we don't have TV. Like all my TV, I watch on a tablet or my laptop. Yeah, it's incredible. And as I read more, I read faster. I'm able to read longer. And when I find a book that really interests me, I can't put it down. So Yeah, that's what we've been doing.
It's good stuff. That's all good stuff. Can I just say one thing? Just one thing?
Mm.
You're looking handsome as hell. Handsome as
Thank
hell.
you.
You're a good looking man.
I appreciate that.
I'm glad to be in this podcast with you.
I've lost a little weight. Can you tell I'm not as jowly as I
Not as
used to be?
jolly. It's
Yeah,
not even the
double
weight thing.
chin's going
You
away.
look good in general. You look good when you were more
Thanks.
jolly. You're just a good looking man, and I'm
I
glad to be a
appreciate
part
that.
of this party. I'm glad
I
to
don't know
be
what's
this party.
happening.
Hey,
Do you want to see my nipples?
I'm just here. No, that is not what I want
What?
to see. What did
Lift
you
this
say?
shirt
Yes?
right now.
No.
Hello.
Come on. It's going on YouTube. It's for the children.
For the children. For the children.
It's not appropriate for children. I mark it that way every time. All right. Well, it is good to be back. Good to be doing this. On another note, I'm going to do a little bomb drop. I am going to be starting a solo podcast. We will.
Oh yeah.
We will still be doing. We don't talk politics. We will still be doing this. We know it is. I enjoy doing it with Ryan and Sean Patrick. But it's hard.
Schedules are sons of
Schedules
bitches.
are
And it's hard to
sons of
get back
bitches.
to swing of things anymore.
And I know
I'm very excited for Aaron to start his own podcast. The man's got a voice for radio and a face for it too.
A face for radio, baby. That's what my mother always told me. So yeah.
What a mom.
Yeah. So we'll still be doing this podcast, but I will also be.
Do you have a name for it?
Indeed, I do. And
Hear
email and an Instagram. I had to lock down the brand before we got there. It is Doors of the Universe podcast,
Ooh.
which
that aroused me. That's better than the ghost story one, whatever. Doors of the Universe. All right, Aaron.
I gotta find the exact quote. Let's see.
Is it from Mad Men? Seems like a quote from Mad Men. X-Files?
X-Files.
It's gotta be X-Files.
X-Files.
That's a real question. Yeah.
I
Something
don't
a lot of
know.
people don't know about Aaron is he is obsessed with X-Files.
That is one show I've watched through at least 3 times.
You know, for sales training at the company I work for, I use David Duchovny as an example customer like all the time.
I believe you do.
And it's like my cool barometer is somebody laughs when they hear David Duchovny, then it's like, all right, you're cool.
It's coming up. I need you to know,
Do you know
the
what
truth is out there.
I love it.
What? What's up?
When you said so, do you have everything locked down? When are you gonna record your first episode?
I think next month is when we'll start. We're gonna be in Colorado, like most of the last 2 weeks of May. So probably I'm shooting for June. So
cool.
It's just I want to. Like I said, it's nothing against these two. Our schedules, we have a hard time, and I just want to do something a little more consistent, get out there, and I know I've got more free time than these two do. That's just the facts. I know my schedule is more open than both of theirs, so it's just I know. It's life. This is where we're at. What are you gonna mute that, or are you gonna have me edit that out? You piece of.
No, I muted it on the microphone.
Oh, okay, so it won't be on.
I muted it on the microphone, so it won't be on Audacity. I promise.
If it muted on the microphone, how'd I hear it?
Oh, that's because is coming. No, I know it's. That's because I looked over and it wasn't showing up. Thank you.
Okay.
That's because what we're doing here, my input device is not my Blue Yeti. My input device is my headset.
Ah, there we go.
But my input device over here is my Yeti for my Audacity.
That's good thinking. That's smart thinking.
Chef's kiss. Yeah, pure luck. Pure unadulterated luck.
Worked out well.
Well, I'm ecstatic for you to have your own podcast. You have a crazy amount of creative energy that you need to get out there in the world, and I think this is a phenomenal way of doing it. So I'm excited to see where it goes and how you do it.
Yeah, and I'll share all the information, everything once it actually is out and up and running. But
maybe We Don't Talk Politics can be your first sponsor.
you guys just give me that WDTP money. You know what I'm saying? Spend it in.
Yeah. Just throw the old $10 a month
throw
into
those
it.
$10 at me, baby. Honestly, like I'm at a point right now where I've got most of what I need. I mean, I'm sure there's some few things I could buy that would make it easier. But right now, either way, we're gonna be rock and rolling with that. And
See, you heard that,
WDEP.
but Audacity.
Oh, I heard that.
Hopefully, you can
And
get that off
the screen.
YouTube
No, it's going on the YouTube video. The cough and the burp. No, I didn't there. But we are still active on. You can find us on all the great streaming platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Anchor.fm, which we use to make this podcast. You can make your own podcast using Anchor.fm. They distribute it for you. They put it out on all the platforms, and it makes it super easy. You just record it, edit it, put it out there.
You don't even have to record it from the computer. You can legit, like me and my brother and I, we had like this vain attempt to start a podcast. We did like one episode, and all I did I got like a lapel microphone, and plugged it. I got two of them, plugged them into a splitter, plugged the bottom of my phone, pinned them to our shirts, and recorded straight from our cell phone in his office onto the Audacity, and it sounded perfectly. You don't need any equipment.
No.
You just need a smartphone, and you just do it up to your face, even if you wanted to.
Yeah, that's
you can record a TikTok. You can record a podcast.
That's a fact. That commercial we do for the one advertising for Anchor, I made that on the phone. I didn't have my microphone set up or anything at that time. That was just all on the phone, and it sounds great. And there's audio, like there was added music and stuff to it and everything, and that was all via the phone. Super easy. If you got something you love to talk about, you want to share it with the world, got something that you think we'll like to hear, get it out there. Make it. It's fun. It's enjoyable. But I'm trying to think. If you want to get a hold of us, we don't talk politics at gmail.com. You can leave voice messages on anchor.fm. And I'm trying to think. You can message us through. We're no longer on Facebook. We are still on Twitter. I'm not very good about updating Twitter, but we're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. Instagram's going to be where most of the activity happens, social media wise. But yeah, feel free to contact us. Let us know what you want to hear. We love getting together and talking about subjects that are fun, interesting, and unknown. But anything else? Tell your friends. If you like this podcast, recommend it to one person this week. Send it out to somebody. Share it on your Instagram story. Share it on your Facebook, whatever. Just let other people know we're out there. And yeah, that's all I've got. You good?
Thank everybody for joining us. Goodbye forever.
Goodbye.